guys, this is Dan from Generation Productions, and today I'm talking about Pokemon. And I'm going to be debating one of, first of all, a few YouTubers that may have a similar opinion, but also a good mythical morning, Rhett the Rat. So yeah, by the way, Rhett, see my 3 Diglets? Yeah, the middle Diglets for you, buddy, on this subject about Pokemon. So, read between the lines, buddy, on that one. Read between the Diglets. Now, or in this case, Doug Trio. But let's get back to the point. So Rhett's having a gig at Pokemon. Now, the thing is, this is also a lot of opinions that a lot of people do share, and so I figured, why the hell not? Might as well let's look into it.
Pokemon. Game over. I've got 2 words for Pokemon. Game over. Let's talk about that.
Yep, let's talk about that. Good mythical morning. I am Dan from Generation Productions, and we're here with Rhett and Link for Good Mythical Morning. So Rhett's not going to actually, Link is not going to debate Rhett on this, probably because also Link's association with Nintendo with Zelda. So we can put that in the bag. So there's also another reason why Link can't say anything about this whole Pokemon business. So let's go through the points that Rhett makes.
Mythical morning. Today, Pokemon fans, young and old alike, have a hard pill to swallow. It is time to put down Pokemon. And I don't mean put down the video game controller. I mean like put it down the way my dad put my favorite dog, Orville, down.
Rhett, you jerk. Anyway, let's get to your stupid point, shall we? Instead of just beating around the bloody bush.
Since then, it has spawned a massive global trading card game, a TV show with over 20 seasons, and 24 different movies. The franchise has a monopoly on the entire market. Literally. I mean, look at this. This is Pokemon Monopoly.
Is this what all the NFT stuff is kept in?
Yes, that box is full of NFTs, Link. The idea, and you can remove that now.
Okay. I'm going to eBay it.
The idea behind the Pokemon universe is simple. Humans or trainers capture Pokemon creatures and train them to battle other Pokemon creatures. This is basically cartoon cockfighting. Is this what we want for our youth? Yeah. Here, hold my cock.
Let's point this out. One thing that's been one of the biggest debates about Pokemon is the slash dog fighting or cat fighting or practically any animal, but mainly also cock fighting or rooster fighting, just in case we want to get not so rude, not sound like a porno video. So yeah, rooster fighting or rooster fighting. So more or less, well, here's the thing, right? The main difference is that first of all, Pokemon are sort of animals that have been specialised for battle. That's one major difference. You see, unlike the animals in today's actual world, in our world, animals in our world, like our pets and stuff, Pokemon have like special abilities and special things which cause them to allow them to attack things. Like Pikachu has his like he has his electrical attacks and stuff like that. So put it this way, yes, while the Pokemon are animals or pocket monsters or basically monster animals, they do have like a sturdier body compared to most animals, and not like cats and dogs and stuff. They have a lot more sturdier thing. But here's the thing. They also have medications and things you can feed Pokemon. So that's one major difference. Once again, like the bullfighting, like I said, rooster fighting, and all that, and dog fighting, and cat fighting, and all that kind of fighting, animal fighting stuff. Once the animal is been beat to crap, it's disposed of. It gets put down, or it, basically it gets taken out of the back and shot, or killed. You see that with bullfighting, whatever. It doesn't matter if the bull wins, or if it doesn't matter if the winning chicken or dog or whatever wins. Most of the animals don't get treated. That's been one of the major issues. If it was a simple thing of, the animals get treated, somewhat like, normal fighting type thing, like boxing or, judo or ninja stuff, we have in sports, we have like ointments and bandages and stuff like that, and it's sort of made compulsory. You treat the person that's going into battle, whereas with dog and cat fights, you don't get to treat the animals per se. You basically just kill them and put them down after they're finished, whether they win or lose. So yeah, more or less though, with Pokemon battles, even if the Pokemon does faint, it's not dead yet. You can rush it to a Pokemon Center, which where they can actually get healed up, or you can actually, from the Pokemon Mart, buy ointments and buy vitamins and all sorts of little trinkets to actually help the Pokemon get stronger and become better. So that is also another big difference between the idea of Pokemon being like a cat or dog fight. It's completely different. And I think I might have to make a few parters on this one because the battery's almost running dry. Anyway, let's continue.
You probably think I'm overreacting. Well, what if I showed you a clip of a certified psychiatrist who agrees with me? If you would please pull down the screen link.
Actually, no. I'm not going to let you off this easy, Rhett. More or less, Rhett. No, it's not that she agrees with you about the animal cruelty side of it. She agrees with promoting violence. So that's completely different. Although, that being said, the animal stuff is technically violent, but it's not on the same sort of level as what she's referring to. But anyway, let's continue.
Okay, my pleasure. I'd like to show you a clip from an NBC news report from 1999, also known as MSNBC. Take it away, Twinkie Fingers.
But some experts say the entire Pokemon phenomenon is the enemy.
In my opinion, parents should not let their kids watch Pokemon, play Pokemon, buy Pokemon cards, have anything whatsoever to do with Pokemon, because the message is violence.
Violent? You hear that, Link?
Now, onto that subject. Okay, Rhett, let's have a look here. Well, I've got a question for you, buddy. But before I get to that, about Dr. Carol Lenneman, I think she's a bit stupid, to be honest. I reckon she must have got her basically psychiatrist license out of a cereal box. Anyway, but back to the point. She has a few valid points about gambling, and I don't know. She didn't actually cover it, but I'm going to put it into her thing as well. Gambling and violence. Now, there is gambling aspects in Pokemon, such as the game corner, which has since been removed from most games, but you still have that sort of slot machine aspect in some little segments. So we had the gambling aspects, such as in the game corner, where you have slot machines, you can get some Pokemon. Now, only by earning coins, and in the biggest amount of coins, you can actually get a Polygon. So that helps build up your Pokedex. Or, no, not Polygon. Porygon. Sorry, I need to pronounce that right. Porygon. However, one could say that the gambling aspect is like most puzzle games, and helps build the aspect, aspect of the puzzle games helps stimulate the brain, and since you're not using any real money to gamble with in the game, means that there's no real risk of losing real money. Therefore, it's not really an issue, because unless you're really gambling with real money, then that is a real problem. But if you're not gambling with real money, it's not really much of a problem. Now back to the violence factor. Okay, well, do you like boxing? Do you like wrestling? Do you like kung fu and some of the ninja stuff? Well, sad to say, all that promotes violence to some degree. Creates a violence factor to some degree. Wrestling, you have people, bashing and trying to grapple each other. In boxing, you're punching someone out. In kung fu, you're physically using your hands and feet to beat each other up. So in some aspect, that has a violence factor. Yet, boxing and martial arts are considered as sports. So where do you want to go to with that? So yeah, go figure. In a way, Pokemon battles are no different from sparring in a gym. Hence the reason why you have gyms and gym leaders. So the idea of battling with Pokemon is more like fights you would have with boxing, or fights you'd have with pretty much more or less like judo or any other kind of form of martial arts. So that's sort of like the concept of like fighting, yeah, but in a sporting way. Hence the reason why you have a Pokemon League and Pokemon gyms. That's the whole concept. It's more like sparring in a gym than like with judo or any sort of defensive or attacking kind of sport. So it's more like a sport. Okay, next piece of information you want to talk about, Rhett?
A certified psychiatrist. You got the cojones to argue with certified psychiatrist Dr. Carol Lieberman?
Yep, because I studied counselling myself.
Says the message is violent? You went an orderly line.
Not really violence, but anyway.
You know the overall official catchphrase of Pokemon? Roll the clip, Tweakle Fingies. Not so fast, Link. Yeah, like I was saying, gotta catch them all. You were right. I just wanted the video to say it. Gotta catch them all. And here's the thing. Can you really catch them all? No! It is impossible. There are at least 898 Pokemon characters. The greedy...
Okay. Well, now I'm going to get to this part of it, about this part, which is about the Pokemon thing. Okay, so there are 898 Pokemon, right? So then you can't catch them all, right? well, to be fair, some rare Pokemon are unobtainable through regular gameplay, which is frustrating. But such as event Pokemon or promotional Pokemon that are exclusive to that version of the game. However, online trading has made this more easy to obtain the rare Pokemon, or you can also just hack the game to get them as well. There's like cheat codes, and there's Game Shark and various other piratey ways of actually getting those rare Pokemon. But to be fair, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, you can actually buy a remote controller Pokeball, which when you somehow activate the Pokeball, it will give you a Mew. So that way you can collect all 151 Pokemon in Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, which is something that has not ever been done before. And I think Nintendo, you guys should do that more often with rare Pokemon, make an exclusive item, like a Pokeball or a USB stick or maybe something else, where people can actually buy the actual rare Pokemon instead of having to go through all the downloady stuff, because that's just frustrating to always have to go online to actually try and download or trade to get the rare Pokemon. But but it has made it a little bit more easier to obtain the rare ones anyway. And by the way, the "gotta catch 'em all" phrase, which is what you see in the Pokemon rap, "gotta catch 'em all, yeah, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all," that is actually more or less referring to completing the Pokédex entries. And the way to, and you don't, and it mainly applies to filling and completing the Pokédex entries. Again, the rare Pokemon are not needed to complete the Pokédex, the region Pokédex. So once you have because you get two different software pieces in the Pokédex. You get the national Pokédex and the region Pokédex. The region Pokédex can be completed through regular gameplay. You don't need any of the rare or special Pokemon to complete the Pokédex. However, to complete the national Pokédex, that's when you probably need the rare Pokemon to complete the main Pokédex. But overall, the main gameplay, like the regular gameplay that every kid can play, all you need is just those two different versions, like the Diamond and Pearl, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and so on and so forth. You only need 2 games to trade between the two, and that's how you can complete the actual game, or at least one of the games anyway. You just need two of the games to actually complete the Pokédex and catch them all. Well, all in that one particular game. There's been many different versions and variants of the Pokemon game, such as Diamond and Pearl, Gold and Silver, Platinum and Emerald, and Pokemon Yellow, and various other variations of the Pokemon games. So, the way to catch them all is you catch all the games, you buy all the games, and you collect all the Pokemon in those individual games, or even trade some across from the other game, because basically you only really need one game, but you need to buy the second game to transfer all the Pokemon into the other game, the ones that you can't obtain in the other game, and transfer them across into the other game, so you can complete the region Pokédex. It's very easy. It's not always really that hard to complete the Pokédex. So, okay, now we get to the next piece.
Shadowy business people behind Pokemon have set its fans up for failure. Because even if you could catch all 898 of them, how could they all fit inside this little red ball? Open the ball, Link.
Okay, now the question is, how do Pokemon, they're like this size here, fit inside a Pokeball? Because logically speaking, a Pokeball can't go inside. Pokemon cannot actually. Pokemon this size cannot actually fit inside the Pokeball. It just doesn't work. So, how does this actually work, you may ask? Well, basically, how a Pokeball works, how these good old Pokeball works in the Pokemon world. Sadly, with a lot of Pokeballs, they're not very accurate. Even these toy ones are not very accurate. But how they work in the Pokemon world, these capsule balls or Pokeballs, how they work. Well, first off, you don't need one Pokeball to capture all Pokemon. That's ridiculous. You can't fit all the Pokemon. You can't fit all the where is it? You can't fit all the 898 Pokemon in that Pokeball. That's just ridiculous. What you do is, in the gameplay, Rhett, is that you basically well, the Pokeball acts as a capsule system by where. Oh, so wait a minute. Sorry. You actually, first of all, I'm launching into something else. Sorry. More or less, you capture one Pokeball at a time. So you capture one Pokemon at a time. You buy Pokeballs from a Pokemon Mart, and that's where you go to with that. Now, how can something, like I said, like this big, or big as a cat or a whale, fit inside a Pokeball? It doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, let me explain how the capsule ball system works. The Pokeball acts as a capsule system by where the biological matter is transferred into energy, into particle energy, and then is stored / shrunk into the ball. And the best way to think of that is like the Star Trek transporter in comparison. So when a Pokemon goes into or comes out of a Pokeball, it's basically what happens is the Pokeball it converts the Pokemon or an object, which yes you can also collect in the games as well. You actually collect like items and things inside Pokeballs as well. So the Pokeball has many different functions. It also holds items and also holds Pokemon. But back to that thing. So basically, it converts a Pokemon or an object into an energy pattern, a process called dematerialization. Then the beam it to a target or location where it is reconverted into matter, rematerialization. So more or less, that's how Pokeballs work. It's similar to the Star Trek transport system. So that's how something big like Pikachu can shrink into a little animal-sized critter like so and gets captured. So that is sort of how that actually works. The Pokemon Ball system works more or less on that same principle. Now something that could actually be this size can be shrunk inside the Pokeball. Becomes like an energy pattern or an energy beam and gets shrunk inside the Pokeball. That's how it actually works. Now it's also said too that there's also like little tiny, not in this one of course, but in the official one, there's like little tiny glass or crystal type things around inside the Pokeball. Now the reason for that being is the idea is once a Pokemon is inside the Pokeball, it's like a little tiny habitat inside there as well. So basically what happens is there's also something that generates a hologram inside the Pokeball of what the Pokemon would feel like to be at home, more or less. Although in comic books and the comic book versions, you will see Pokemon that are just like that size and actually inside the Pokeball. Like you can actually see inside the Pokeball and the Pokemon can actually see outside the Pokeball. But then again, that's in the comic canon, not the actual TV show or other forms of canon. So let's go.
2 cents.
Yep, that's my 2 cents, Link. And if anybody else wants my 2 cents, it's that 898 Pokemon characters is exactly 897 Pokemon characters too many. Twinkle Thingies, please show us what 898 Pokemon characters looks like.
So he goes to the whole list of the Pokemon.
Whoa. Hey, hey! I almost called you Pokemon. I'm so confused right now. Twinkle Fingers, are you...
Okay, so, just wait a minute. Okay guys, well this is part 1. I'll be back for part 2 in just a second.